Yeah, hello, and welcome again to Badminton Trash Talk TV. And yeah, it's subject time, and we are bringing up subjects again that either we come up with or subjects like today that is taking out from our web forum, and it's a very small thread actually, but it's about this 8 match points that Lin Dan blew in the third set against Lee Chong Wei in the Malaysian Open final. And Bobby, let me tell you this. I just don't believe it. Even though people are writing it, I don't believe it. Lin Dan cannot blow 7 match points. And you know, it's not even 7 match points when he's going like 20, 21. It's like, no, he's leading 20.
And the funny thing is, he's receiving serve.
He's receiving serve. He's probably the greatest ever in receiving serves. And this guy,
wow, I don't know about that.
He is. And he's losing. And you know what? I don't care. I don't believe it. I still don't believe it. I want to see it on tape before I believe it.
I'll tell you the name of somebody else who doesn't believe it. Lin Dan. As you know, after the match, Lin Dan was refusing to take the ceremonial medal or whatever, and he got booed by the crowd. But I think Lin Dan was in such disbelief that he basically freaked out. And yeah, I wasn't there, so I can't say what happened. But yeah, but basically, this kind of thing can ruin a player for life. This kind of experience. I mean, he was up in the home crowd in Malaysians. I mean, they're going crazy in that hall, in this big heat hall. And he blows 7 or 8 match points. I mean, that kind of thing can mess you up mentally. And I have to respect this guy. He came back the next week and just bounced Lee Chong Wei off the court in Taiwan. So, in my opinion, once again, as I said before, Lin Dan is the best in the world, probably the best ever.
But can the best player ever blow? Can the best player ever in a final of a big Grand Prix tournament lose 7 points in a row? That will.
Yeah, of course, why not? Because it's one time. I mean, goddamn, the guy's won like 25 tournaments in the last.
Is he the
3
best
or 4
ever?
years.
Is he really the best ever? I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think Lin Dan he has to be making a case for the best ever. He's winning. Okay. I have to once again say he hasn't won the Olympics or Worlds. There's a lot of players who have done that, and so he hasn't had the total complete package. He hasn't done what Yang did. He hasn't done what Sun Jun did. What do you think? You think Yang is a joke?
No.
Yeah, but okay, like he hasn't done what they done. For example, a guy like Yang.
Yeah, but you know.
He's laughing at my face when I bring up Yang. The guy won 2 worlds. The guy, I mean, he won 2 worlds in a row. He won like 20 Grand Prix titles, and he was kicking ass on. At a time when there was guys like Zhao and Morten Frost around.
But I'm not saying that Yang was overrated or anything. I just say that can the best player ever blow 7 match points in a big tournament? And you like you say it can fuck a player up for life. Obviously he bounced back the week after. But I just say I need more improvement. I need more evidence from Lin Dan to say he's the greatest ever.
You know,
I think he's a little overrated.
Overrated? How can you say that he's one of the guys that? I mean, I don't know. He's winning all the time. He's been number 1.
He's overrated in the way that you're saying he's the greatest ever. I say he's not.
Okay, I'll say it like this: he hasn't proven he's the greatest ever because he hasn't won the Worlds or the Olympics. But he's like 23. Give him 3 or 4 more years. This guy is
3 or 4 more years might be done.
I just don't believe it. Of course, we can't say exactly what maybe could have and should have and maybe will happen. But I'm gonna say it anyways. He's gonna win the Worlds. I don't know if he wins the Olympics or not. It's questionable. But this guy, I mean, his level is so high. He is the fastest player. Okay, he's the 2nd fastest player of all time. he's probably combines that with the most technical. Of course, we both know that the fastest player of all time is Denmark's own Peter Rasmussen.
But
side note,
I'm gonna tell you one thing, Bobby. Now.
Yeah.
This guy Lin Dan, he's good, he's great, but yeah, he's young. But Chinese players coming up when they are young. He's 23. It's actually not such a young age anymore for Chinese player. He could be done in 2 years. Look at the Xie Shuangzi. Look at Chen Hong. They both only lasted on top 3 or 4 years. I'm telling you this. Next Olympics is his last chance. It is Beijing. It's his last chance. I would say this guy is still not a world champion. We have discussed earlier. Is Peter Gade really considered a legend? He's only won Olympian. Lin Dan only won the.
he won 2.
He won 2. Okay, he still haven't won the big one, the Olympics or the World Championships. This guy needs to come up with a big one.
But I mean, can you say that?
You cannot even say that this guy is one of the greatest ever. He has never won the Olympics or World Championships.
But can you say just like anyone who won a Worlds or Olympics is the greatest ever? That he was better than Lin Dan? I mean, can you actually say that? I don't know, Yi Jinping. Or, can you say he was better than Lin Dan just because he shows up in one tournament and wins a big one? Of course, I think that's cool. Of course, it's nice. I wish I would do it. But
I'm just pointing on the facts that at the Olympics, at the Worlds, Lin Dan has totally cracked under pressure. You know? Do you disagree?
No. Actually, I don't totally disagree. He certainly cracked in the first Olympics. At the Worlds, I don't think he cracked. I mean, for God's sake, he was in the final.
Cracked, he got 5-3 in the final against South Africa.
That's because he had a huge Peter Gade in the semi.
Come on.
Why?
I'm not buying into this. I mean, we're talking about top athletes. They're playing one match a day. And then you're saying this guy, they're having like one match a day for 5 days. And you say he can handle that?
It's because you win 3 sets every single time, and in the semifinal.
Well, I can say the greatest ever if he's playing 3 games in every single match from round 1 in the World Championships.
He's playing good players. These are good guys. He's playing some of the best ever. He's playing Lee Hyun. He's playing Peter Gade, and they're pushing him. They're doing everything they could ever do, and he's still coming up huge. Yeah, in the final, he's wasted, and he comes across Taufik, who can also play brilliant badminton. Okay, but I mean, you call that cracking under the pressure?
Yeah.
That's different. It's different playing Ronald Cecilia first round and going out in 2 sets 8-8. That's different. That's different than making a final and going down to one of the top players of all time.
I agree, but again, like we're talking about this guy. I said he's a little overrated. But
talk about overrated. The guy who's the most overrated is the guy he lost to in the final, Taufik. This is the most overrated guy in badminton today.
But okay, it's I mean, obviously we won't totally agree on this, Bobby. But I want to twist the subject a little bit. Like we talk about overrated. Who's the most underrated ever?
I think you are.
I am.
The most underrated player ever. Well, I can throw him out now.
But by the way, I got a 3-1 lifetime record against this guy. But who cares? But
yeah, exactly.
Who's the most underrated player in the world?
The most underrated player in the world, or ever? What are you saying?
Ever.
Then there's no doubt that Peter Rasmussen is the most underrated player of all time.
He's world champion. Is he underrated?
You can say he's underrated because people, because I don't think he ever really got the respect because he had this funny career that he was getting injured all the time, and so he didn't play regularly enough, and therefore he was never really in people's minds. The other funny thing that he would do is occasionally in. Like if he would win a tournament, but he would play 3 tournaments where he played so bad, and he could lose to a lot of people. So because of that, I think that people kind of dismiss what he did as a fluke. Actually, this guy, he achieved a level that I don't even know, at his best. Admittedly, it only happened for a few months. At his best, I don't know that anyone was better.
Let me put the ultimate question.
You were there. I mean, you were in Denmark at the time when he was playing his best. I was still a kid back in Canada. How did that look back then?
You know, I'm telling you this. When you were in Denmark, he wasn't that famous when he won the World Championships. He was
like Peter Gade, for example.
We're talking Peter Gade.
No. I'm talking Rasmussen.
No, he wasn't as famous. He won the Danish Championships that year. People didn't really see him but I'm telling you. No one at the Danish national training was surprised when this guy won the World Championships. Everybody had this guy as an outsider, even a favorite to win. Obviously, this Dong Jong withdrawal helped him. He will even admit that himself. But this guy was underrated.
Well, yeah, and the other thing about Ras, they'll say, like, I talked to Thomas Stewart a couple weeks ago, and he was telling me the story that Ras, 1 month after Alan Buti-Kasuma won the Olympics, Ras beat him 2-1 in the final of a German Open or something like that. And that kind of thing, I mean, he's a guy that's given Yoko Supriyanto, world champion. He gave him 15-3, 15-3 in the second round of All England. He's a guy that he gave Park Sung-woo number 3 in the world at the time, giving him 2-1 in Japan Open final. I mean, that kind of stuff. That's the only guy, like nowadays, the only guy who can beat the number 2 and 3 that low is Lin Dan. He's the only guy that can occasionally do it, and Ras, he actually did it fairly often. So that's why I say this guy is actually, people know he's world champion, but they don't realize he is one of the best players of all time.
But Bobby, let me finish this show with one question. Lin Dan against Peter Rasmussen, both at their best. Who would win?
Ras. No, it depends. Actually, I'll tell you something. It depends. But if it was in the World Finals, the more the pressure, the more the craziness, the more insane the situation, the more Peter Rasmussen has a chance to win. And I think, at his best, Ras goes faster and he goes longer. And that's it.
Okay, that's we will finish now. And
but yeah, hey, you got to get him on the show sometime.
I will, no problem. We will finish the show today. Thanks again for watching, and see you next week.